body. She know I'm ballin' for sure. She no one stop me, you know I'm gon' score.
Hey guys, it's your boy CJ May, and I'm here with 3 special guests here on my Jordan's podcast.
Your boy Lil Mike.
Trent.
Munir.
So obviously, you know we're in a global pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. So and there's still sports going on like football, NBA, and MLB and stuff like that. So what's your guys' thoughts on athletes speaking on social justice issues, right? Do you think that's important, and do you think that we should see more of that? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I can go first. I think that athletes should definitely speak on issues going on around the world, because they're not just athletes, they're humans as well. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people look up to these athletes,
Right.
So they definitely have to put their input in. And
exactly.
I would say, though, don't let it get interfere with the sport. Don't bring your team down with it. Mm-hmm. Don't create extra drama.
There's ways where you can do both. You can still focus on your sport, but also promote your platform to teach the younger generation
mm-hmm.
how to just have a voice and speak on issues.
Still, it's from my point of view, it's still play the sport so you can inspire those people that want to pursue it long term, like LeBron James. Other NFL players do it as well. Yeah. So you can inspire them while playing, but also speak on those issues.
Facts. Facts.
And because you can't be ignorant to the fact that of what's going on. So
you can't.
I definitely think their voice is very important in terms of our political climate.
Definitely.
That's what's up.
I agree. I also think it's because they're not just athletes; they're also role models for many kids and just young people in general. So I feel like it's just when you're in that position of influence, that if you can give your voice to, if you can lend your voice to issues that are definitely needed or whatever, I feel like it's as Mike said, they're humans as well. So I feel like it's.
Exactly.
I mean, they should speak if they feel they need to.
And also feel with athletes, these days, I think they should it's good to show your cars and your money and and stuff like that. But I think it's important to use that money to invest in more important things like kids, high schools. You see with LeBron James, he invested a high school in his hometown, Ohio.
Promise school.
Yeah. So I think as athletes and famous people, with the money they have and the platforms they have, they should make important investments too. You know what I mean? It's not all about just having cars or
giving back.
How many girls you got? You know what I'm saying? It's about making investments into the future. You know what I mean? Future generation. You know what I mean?
I feel you. Yeah, I feel like LeBron gets a lot of hate, but he's just an awesome dude. Especially off the court.
Facts, bro.
He does a lot for the community.
You think he's the GOAT?
Ooh.
Of this generation, I would say yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the old heads be saying that Michael the GOAT.
For his, 90s, I would say he's the GOAT.
Right.
Then Kobe.
It's just different eras.
Yeah.
And then LeBron.
It's just hard to compare because the game was so different with Michael Jordan.
Facts,
compared to LeBron now.
It was less media, less social media back then.
And I personally think LeBron's the GOAT of all time, greatest of all time.
But Michael got 6 championships though.
I know, but it's
true.
Just
but Bill
it's
Russell,
a different
Bill
era.
Russell has 8.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. Bill Russell.
Yeah, if we're going championships, Bill Russell's the GOAT.
I say Michael the GOAT because just I'm around my dad a lot, so he an old head himself, so he always tells me the stories of Michael.
It's also that Michael was also an icon too, of that era. I mean,
facts.
With Jordan Brand and everything.
I think LeBron will be remembered more than Michael in history just because of what he stood for. It wasn't all just about basketball. He was about politics, kids, investments, high schools. While with Michael, his whole focus, especially if you watch the documentary, I forgot what it's called, but they made a documentary with Michael, The Last Dance, and basically, Michael just talked about how he didn't want to get involved in social justice issues and politics just because he was so focused and invested in basketball that was his major focus. So he didn't really focus on the social justice issues or anything like that.
Right.
He didn't give his thoughts on that.
I think just the only thing Michael has ahead of LeBron is just the logo, just that brand,
the
Jordan, the handout, the Air Jordan.
He's an icon.
You know what I'm saying? You still got King James in the crown, but still
exactly.
I don't know, just him dunking from the free throw line.
Yeah,
bro, that's
Yeah,
yes,
tongue
that's
out and all that.
Bro,
the tongue out.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
It's also because he was a pioneer. Because now there's LeBron's, KD's, and all that. While back then it was just Jordan.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's a big difference.
I can see that.
Now, what's your guys' thoughts on like Kyrie, right? So like we talked about like how athletes should should use their platform more. Like, what's your thoughts on Kyrie? Just basically, he's like MIA, like he just ghosted the whole Brooklyn Nets team. Like nobody's heard from him.
I heard that he was at a family function without his mask.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was like COVID issues.
Yeah, he broke like some of the rules that the NBA had put on. So honestly, I think they blew it out of proportion.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I think a lot of people are at family functions, and I think he just happened to get recorded.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think, like Stephen A. Smith said, that he should be retired. Mm-hmm. I think he was just saying that just to get his attention. I think he's out of pocket.
Yeah, he was some nut shit.
And I feel like Kyrie watches that. You know, he sees that, hears that. So I think he definitely just did that to get his attention.
Yeah, facts.
You know, to make him focus.
Yeah.
I mean, like now in the days of like social media and everything, the smallest thing you could do gets blown up into something that's just ridiculous. It's not. I mean, like I know rich and famous people, like they have it relatively easy. I mean, they don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, or like where their child goes to school. But you still have to take into account that like the whole world is watching them. Like evolutionary wise, like we weren't meant to be judged by the entire world. Like at the most, like our tribe or like 50 people, not by 7 billion. You know,
that's crazy to think about,
right?
Real shit.
And that's a lot of pressure, though.
Yeah, and that messes with our heads. So you just gotta like, it's hard to feel empathy for these people that seem like they have everything, but you gotta really give them credit for like their mental strength and just like, yo, like every time I post a video or every time this happens, millions and millions of people are watching it, you know? And that's just like, that's weird.
Yeah.
And I don't know how do you get used to that, but
they like it though.
They like it, and they like it. And especially positive attention, but like once negative attention hurts, like hits, like it has to take a mental toll or something, you know?
And also like people gotta remember, like even though they're celebrities and athletes, they're still human beings too.
Exactly.
So like, true. I think sometimes with people like us, we tend to like see them like not as human beings and more just like objects, like they have like no feelings. You know what I mean?
Just objects for it's the whole like shut up and play ball. You
exactly.
know?
I do think it should be the issue of considering like with the teams like especially what they did last season with the NBA bubble and all that. I feel like it like there might have been a concern that because he was in a family function that you don't know where everyone there has been. So like I understand where they're looking at it from that point. But then again, if you're gonna do it to Kyrie, you should make sure you do it to other people as well. You gotta be consistent.
That's the thing, though. There's no bubble, so it's like
there's no bubble.
I know. So it's like there's a problem, but like if you're gonna bash Kyrie for it, you gotta be consistent though, because
but it's just because he got recorded.
Yeah,
like,
and it's also Kyrie Irving. Like if it was some random dude in the NBA,
they wouldn't care.
That's like
they
wouldn't care.
I still think it would. I still think it would be, but not to the same extent though, because
maybe not to the same extent.
Just the extent of the pandemic.
But like I don't know, because like I feel like the media also influences the league in general. It's like, oh, well, this is getting it's bad publicity, you know. Right. So even if they don't necessarily want to take precautions, they have to because, you know, everyone's watching us. You know.
Yeah, it's happened with other athletes though. Like I think.
I know. Kyrie's an example.
Yeah.
Definitely. He's an all-star.
Also,
the higher you are, the bigger the role model. So that's why he was publicized.
Yeah,
exactly. Not the lower.
And like I know, like with certain athletes, like with Charles Barkley, like he was famous for saying this. He said that I'm an athlete, I'm not a role model. Which I kind of disagree because like when we become an athlete, when we become a celebrity, like it or not, you kind of signed up for it. Like you signed up to like because people gonna watch you.
People look up to you.
Exactly. Like people gonna watch you, like what you do. So it's important to, you know, be a positive role model to young people, man. Young people coming up, right? And like,
I mean, I can understand him. He could just be in the moment of like the fame, you know,
right.
You know, just the money and stuff, and be like, I'm living my life, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what other people think, but like you said, there's definitely a lot
people
of people watching.
bro. You know what I'm saying?
Like even us, like we all have people we look up to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Even think about this, like. I know we're just starting out, but there definitely gonna be people we don't know watching us.
Exactly.
Like right now.
Yeah, man. I just want like, and like the reason why like I do this stuff is like I want to, you know, give confidence and like faith and hope for more people like my age to like start these type of things, right?
Right.
And like I kind of want to talk about this, and like we know it's like a trend like in Philly, you know what I mean, especially if you're from like West Philly or South Philly, anything like that. You know, the big things that people talk about is either like rapping,
right?
You know, basketball or football.
Okay.
So like, what's your guys' thoughts on like, you know, I feel like people from that side of Philly, especially from me, we kind of limit ourselves to just thinking that we just gotta be a rapper or we gotta be a ball player or football player, or which I think there's more to that. You know what I mean? You shouldn't limit yourself.
Well, I'll say this. I think growing up in a community where sports is the priority and rapping is the priority, that's why a lot of kids get into those different things, because it's like, if you say you're in a family and you have all your brothers playing ball, your cousins playing ball, your friends playing ball,
right,
it's gonna be hard to branch out and do different things.
Facts, yep.
Same thing with music. Everyone's listening to rap music.
Yep.
I'm listening to rap music. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm-hmm.
not listening to country or pop. So it's really just all like influence and like what's your environment, what's around you.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely the few bunch of people that definitely, I guess, look more towards the education side and try to get to college. Further education.
Because not everybody going to the NBA, or not everybody going to be LeBron James or Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
And not everyone going to be the next Uzi Vert.
Exactly.
But the thing is that like when that's all you surround yourself with, like, oh, my friend's a rapper, oh, my friend's a ball player. It's like, okay, then now I have to be one of those things. And there's no reason they don't see like, oh, maybe I could be a doctor or a lawyer or something else.
Something else. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. But I was also gonna say, I think all of our parents have because they have your parents have been to college, right?
Yeah.
That's another thing. I feel like a lot of people in the city, if their parents didn't go to college, then it's not a priority for them,
Right.
If you have parents that have gone to college,
they don't see it.
Yeah, they don't see it the same. Like our parents, I know my mom at least, she's always had a vision for me to go to college.
Right.
If she never had that vision, I promise you, I'd probably just be straight up like rock star right now. You know what I'm saying? Just be in the studio all the time.
Facts.
College would not be an option for me. So she's definitely the ones that she keeps me steady and focused, and hopefully finish off the 4 years.
It starts with how you raise.
Exactly.
But also, college isn't for everyone.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think it is the path for most things, and I think you need college to apply to most jobs. But if like going your own path, like, I mean, it works. I mean, Steve Jobs did it. I mean, a bunch of other really successful people either dropped out or never went in the first place. Started from the ground up.
Yeah, like your life is not over if you don't go to college or if you don't graduate from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of famous people that are successful, but they never went to college. Yeah. They never graduated. So
right.
It's still a path to success.
But I think society makes it seem like if you don't go to college, you're gonna fail.
Exactly.
Which is not true.
And it's not true.
It really depends on what you want to do.
It's scary.
It's scary though, because people will look at you like if I dropped out, I guarantee you everyone at college would be like, damn, he dropped out. Yeah. He's by himself now. Like, he has no future unless he makes it in this music. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well, you're almost kind of let go. Yeah. Like you're kind of like in your element at that point, which for some people it's good. It's just what they need. But for other people, it's like they don't have anything to tie themselves to. Like,
exactly.
I do music. To what you said earlier, I think with options and all that, like they don't see that as an option. I also feel like the fact that like it's all targeted in the sense that, like, at least from an outsider's perspective, it feels like that there's not as much of an option in general of other careers or other stuff in general, just because it's more like most of the only role models they see are like LeBron and
right.
all these people, which isn't bad. I don't think it's bad. I just feel like it's
keep bringing up
LeBron. I just feel like it limits that in the sense, because I feel like regardless of where you come from, you should be able to see yourself doing whatever you want, should it be in sports, in music, or in anything else. I just feel like that's like almost a societal thing that like the more you are in the suburbs, for example, or like if you live a more quote comfortable life, you're like, you like rap, or you like you can listen to all this stuff, you play sports and all that, but you don't feel compelled to do it because they don't see that as an escape, because they have other things. They have more security. I feel like that's the issue.
And I agree, especially when it comes to like city and like where I'm from, like South Philly, from West Philly, or just like from the city area, like from the rough areas. Like for them, like
it's underfunded.
Yeah, like it's just the circumstances, right? So like they don't, like I said, like when they were saying, like in the other areas, like suburban areas, they see like more options than like some of these African Americans that's struggling like in these neighborhoods. I mean, they feel like that rapping is the only way out. Rapping or basketball, football, or anything like that. And also, I think it's family too, about family dynamics, right? Or where you come from, and that's why it's so important to like raise a child right. And what I mean by that is like not everybody deserves to have a child, because at the end of the day, not everybody's good in this world. You know what I mean, there's some sick people out there, and I think that, you know, every parent or just anybody, like, it's your obligation. You know, it's a duty. You know what I mean, when you bring a kid into this world to, you know what I mean, raise them right. You know, build confidence in them, you know what I mean, and just, you know.
Set those principles, right?
Yeah, set those principles and just inspire them, you know what I mean, and not limit yourself. You know what I mean, you could be anything you want to be. So now, I mean, we all know they were in a global pandemic, right? Yeah. So what are your initial, like, thoughts and, like, when it hit? Like, what was your feeling behind it? And, like, did it, like, shock you? Like, when you first heard about it, it was, like, first reports of, like, a couple of coronavirus cases. Right, and at first for me, I didn't believe it. Like, I didn't think it was that real. I didn't think it was that bad.
Right.
But then, like, once they started saying, like, 30 cases, I'm like, oh, shit. Like, damn, like, it's serious.
Right.
So, like, and then, obviously, colleges started to shut down, too. And then everybody was sent home. So, like, how you been feeling, like, during this pandemic? You know what I mean?
I'll start from, like, when I first got the news, because I remember I go to Sacred Heart University. I was just, like, chilling in my room, literally just by myself, like on my phone, maybe listening to music. I don't remember what I was doing, but and then I just get this email that, like, because of the rise in cases in America, that they're sending us all home. And I was just like, wait, what? So I got my shoes, I went outside, everyone was like in the hallway just going crazy. I went outside, everyone was on their phones, like calling their parents, and I just remember that was so crazy. And then I went to a few of my friends, and they're just all hanging outside. And I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, and I was like you. I was like, this didn't feel real.
Yeah,
like, this didn't, like, and
it came
like,
out of nowhere.
Yeah, it didn't feel real. And it also, like, I didn't think it was that serious. And someone from Italy was actually a exchange student here. And she was like, yeah, it actually is really bad. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Like I thought it was just, like, you know, some flu. But, like, and they were like, yeah. So they all sent us home. I had to call my dad. He got me, I think the next day. And classes were canceled. They were all moved to online. And just going home, I remember that was all I saw in the news. Just COVID, and the rising cases. And it was scary.
It was, yeah.
But, you know, I thought I was at home. You know, I felt safe. And then after months and months go by, you think, oh, it's just a, 2-week thing.
Yeah.
We supposed to have an A-Boogie concert.
Facts, yeah.
And I was looking forward to that. And they're like, yeah, it got postponed, whatever.
That's my guy, too.
Yeah, and then cases kept getting worse and worse and worse. And we're like, all right, the rest of the school year is just done.
Right.
And all online. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like,
facts.
How do you adjust to something like this?
Yeah.
And it definitely took a toll on, like, at least my mental health. Staying at home, not really being able to see anybody.
Right.
So yeah, that's my experience with it.
Yeah. You wanna go ahead?
For me.
But hold on, though. I have a question before you like speak. So, like, for me, like, I didn't, like, when I first heard the virus, I didn't think it was that. Like, I thought it was just like, at first when the virus came out, I thought it was only, like, dangerous to, like, old people. Like, old people that was over 60 years old, you know what I mean, 70, 80 years old.
Yeah, they publicized that, though.
Yeah, they
yeah, the news was a bit iffy on that.
Man. They be suspect with it, man.
As time went on, though, they went from, it only affects old heads.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Then it affects, like, younger people.
Yeah.
It's like you're learning more about it, but it's also confusing because you keep publishing everything and it confuses people.
Because the National Health Organization, is that what they're called?
CDC?
World Health?
Yeah, like...
Oh, no,
Who?
CDC.
What are they called?
The WHO.
Yeah.
WHO,
anyway, they were just learning about it too. So they're just pumping out information as they got it, and then they realize, wait, a lot of this isn't actually it's
capping, man.
So I mean, it's confusing for all of us.
Facts, yeah.
The first time I heard of it, it was obviously in China, right?
Okay.
And then I heard the president.
You were in China?
You were in China?
Exactly. First time I heard of it, it was in China.
Oh, all right. I thought it was in China.
Yeah.
All right.
I heard about it too.
I only went to one place out of the country, is Guatemala. That's it. All right. So basically, I heard it was in China, and I heard there was a couple cases, and then I remember I was in my psychology class. I was talking to Shawty, and I was like, so what you think about this pandemic? And she was like, I don't know, I'm not really crazy about it. I don't think nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
Then I remember a week later, first cases happened.
Yeah.
I forget where in the United States.
It was like in the West, like California.
Yeah,
or
something.
Yeah.
And then I remember like we went on break for the spring break, and like out of nowhere they were just like, nope, you can't come back to school. I'm like, what? I can't come back to school, bro. I had 2 performances set and ready to go. I was ready to see people. It was just bad because it was like I didn't get to say a goodbye to people. You know what I'm saying? Like It was weird. Like everything was just sudden. And like I remember I was like in my bag low key because I remember I was at a hotel in Boston because my nana was like, she was really she was weak. She was in the hospital. And
sorry about that, bro.
It's all good. And then I remember I was just sad because I was there in the hotel for like 7 weeks straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm snapping like people I know. I go to Pitt. I was snapping people I know from school. And I was like, yo, it was good meeting you this year. You know what I'm saying? And I hope I can meet you and see you again next year because I'm like, bro, I don't know what's about to happen with this corona.
Right.
So that was basically it, like in the first half. But you know,
it's a mess.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Honestly, for me, it was just it was a little bit different because I was studying in Ecuador, and honestly, the news that came there was almost like I almost felt like I got it before, just because. In the sense, like, I think I remember the day. It was March 11th where classes were canceled.
Yeah.
Like, that was the last day of class. It was a Thursday. I remember that. And it's like from one day to another, just everything just completely changed. Because before I was just going, eating at, like, restaurants, food trucks, or whatever. Like, food is good as shit there. And, you know, just chilling. And then it's like, no, classes are now online for the following Monday and all that. And it just completely just flipped everything in its head because everyone went home and it just became like a ghost town.
Ghost, man. Like nobody was out.
No,
everybody in the crib.
The worst part is I couldn't get a flight back until May. I was stuck in my apartment in the center of Quito, capital of Ecuador, in the center of the city, for like 2 months.
Damn, bro.
And yeah, bro, mental health was. Oh my god, it was so difficult.
You was with your girl though, right?
No, she.
He's by yourself with your girl.
No. She went.
Stop happening.
She went with her parents. I wish, bro. I wish.
No, I remember I FaceTimed you or something.
Yeah.
I was like, so like, I was like, yeah, you with your girl? And he's like, nah, I'm here by myself. I'm like, how are you here by yourself for months?
It's because she went with her family.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, how are you there by yourself? Like, I would be like, that's like solitary confinement.
It was basically like that, and my mental health got worse in that. And it was like the worst part is because the only thing keeping me sane was the fact that I had classes. So like, I hated the fact that I had classes because it was like all that, but at the same time, classes like you kind of need them to stay sane because you're like, oh, I have something to do.
And like, and people don't realize it though, like especially during the pandemic, like it's taking effect on like mental health.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Especially with young people.
You don't leave the house.
Yeah, you don't leave the house. No social life. You can't go out there.
What's the worst part about that though? Like, what do you think the worst part about that?
The worst
for what?
Being in the house is alone. Like, what's the worst part? Like, how does it affect?
I guess
because
just
you're not talking to other people like your age.
If you continue to do it,
like you're just talking to your parents, or for me, it's my dad.
And you're alone by yourself, and like. I think that's the one thing, like, for people around our age, teenagers and, like, people in their 20s, like, we need that social interaction because, like, of the way our brains develop.
I forgot how to talk to them, for real.
I know,
that
for
too,
real.
and, like, it just leaves you depressed. It's like,
like,
I don't know, like, there's FaceTime and stuff, but it's just not the same, It's not the same when you're with your boys or your shawty or whatever.
No,
you know?
I feel like I changed, too. Do you all feel like y'all changed when you came back? Like, I feel like I changed. Like, I feel like I used to be more... like a happy person, and then I changed to just like a low key. Yeah, like I don't know how to talk to no one.
Yeah, like for me, like it's like during the pandemic, like it's made me more humble and just like more appreciative and like of life. Because I feel like sometimes as people, like we kind of take advantage.
Appreciate.
Yeah, we underappreciate. I mean, like we take advantage of life at times, and I feel like when the pandemic happened and stuff like that, I feel
time
like
to reflect.
Yeah, it's time to reflect and just be more appreciative. You know what I mean? I think with this vaccine coming up. Now, what you guys thoughts on this vaccine? Because I heard like this vaccine a little sus.
Which one?
It is
It's a little sus because I heard because I don't know. You told me that like a couple cases the vaccine actually killed like some.
I think I sent.
Was it killer or allergic
was
reaction?
It killed or like allergic?
I sent the video. Remember, 100 people over in Britain.
Yeah. So my thing is that like I know it's hard to you stress over it because it's the fastest vaccine I think ever created.
Right.
Well, there's different ones though.
Yeah, and you have to take into account like. The whole world was affected by this. Yep. So obviously all resources are going to go into this vaccine.
Facts.
So people bring up cases of like, oh, this person got cerebral palsy or whatever and all these random ass things that happened to them. And it's like, Yeah, that was 4 cases out of the 38 to 42,000 people that were tested.
Right.
And the same exact thing happened with the flu vaccine. So
Facts,
I think people are leaving that out, and it's like, but they want to be scared. They want to question things. So it's like, all right, like I've never seen this before, so obviously something has to be wrong. So they'll search based upon their own bias and be like, oh, well, this like if this happens,
they're already scared.
Yeah, they're already scared.
Bro, I was gonna say, add on to that, there's so much history too for black people taking the vaccines.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of black people are sus about it.
Yeah,
they don't want to be the first people to take the vaccine.
Exactly.
I all right, I'm gonna say one person said one person said that they was gonna be like, I'm gonna let it be a year, let all these people take it, and then see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So. But personally, I don't think we really need to take it because, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we're the healthiest demographic right now.
We're healthy. And then also, adding on to what CJ...
at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say, adding on to that, I think the people that are more at risk are the older age people. So obviously give it to them first.
Yeah.
Also if it's a healthy vaccine, obviously. You don't want to give them a faulty vaccine.
Exactly.
And then give it to us later on.
Yep. Yeah. And that's why they're projecting like around like at least April or May, like when things will start going back to normal.
Yeah, but I just feel like there's not enough information about that, because with the vaccine, there's one in Europe, there's one in Britain, there's one in the U.S., there's one in Russia and China, but like you hear that they exist and that's it, and I feel like that's why why people are scared in that sense, because there's not enough information about it.
Yeah.
And they're already deploying. I think the one in Russia, they deployed it like a month ago or something like that, and the U.S. one, they're doing it now or whatever. There's 2, the Moderna and the Pfizer. I just feel like if you give information to the public, that you can reassure them with that, because otherwise you're going to fuel people that think it's a conspiracy and all that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, as long as we can vaccinate everyone and make sure everyone's healthy, I just hope it can be done.
Zombies or something.
Yo,
exactly.
Facts, but I heard there's a new strain. There's a new strain of the vaccine too.
There's multiple.
It's
There's multiple.
Yeah, but one of them is just like 50 times more kill you or something.
No, I think it's more contagious. It's the same thing. It's just more contagious.
Yeah, actually, I think it's in the U.S.
50 times more kill you.
You gotta buy it.
50 times more kill you.
Dude.
Cut that.
That's
nah,
crazy.
we living that in.
All right. Well, obviously we live in a crazy time, but now we're seeing that sports have opened up more. The NBA. I think the UFC started at first because every sport was shut down when the pandemic happened, right? So no fans, no crowd. But the UFC was like the first like major sport where
empty fights.
Yeah, like where it started like open back up. So obviously no crowd, but they were able to. They managed to have the fighters, be tested, and most of the fighters tested clean, so they were able to fight in the octagon on Fight Island in Abu Dhabi. So like my specifics. Yeah. So like my thing is like I think with the UFC, like I think they made other sports more comfortable to start back up. So that's when we start seeing the NBA, the bubble, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So NBA, the bubble, then the NFL, right? So like what are you guys' thoughts on like the whole like watching sports now? Like it's like does it feel any different?
Needed. I don't like it, bro.
Yeah.
Having no fans, that changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah, that changes
like teams. There could be teams that are not in the playoffs right now that could be in the playoffs just because of fans.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, even think about it. Like, I love my Rams, but we played in Seattle. Seattle is like one of the most or like the loudest stadium.
Facts, bro.
So like, I mean, my bias, I always think we're going to win anyway. But, like, I definitely think the game could be changed, especially on third down when the only noise is, like, fake crowd noise from Madden or something. It's like that doesn't affect the players. Like they know it's fake, so it doesn't mean anything.
You got some, like, them fake-ass people, like, you know what I mean? Like, the board, what's it called? Like, the, like boards like people that's not real.
Fake board.
And it's like, and I think that affects it a lot.
Like, what the fuck?
Completely takes away home field advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah, there is no home. Yeah.
There is.
Like I'm not saying the Eagles would have had a better season with fans,
but
no. It certainly wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been as bad.
Yeah, the Eagles,
maybe less interceptions by Carson Wentz.
Yeah, the Eagles.
I mean, hey, that's
year,
complicated.
Oh my god.
God, it's a mess.
Yeah.
Well, Doug's fired though, so
thank God.
As for the NBA, I think they should go back to the bubble.
Yeah,
I heard
I agree.
a specific player, George Hill, say
successful.
something like, "Nah, we shouldn't give up our own personal lives."
That's what I was.
But then I was at the same time like, you're getting paid millions of dollars. To, play something that you should love.
Give them an option. If they can opt out if they want, but they don't play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And let's be real, it's not a real job. Like you're playing a game that you love.
I mean, it is.
It's a business.
Like it's not a job compared to like a 9-to-5 job, like a normal
it's
citizen.
not as tiring and mentally. Yeah, I would say.
Well, the difference is that they got the job of their dreams. That's the difference.
Right.
It's still a job. Because think about it. All your resources go to that. You're still working out. You're still practicing.
It's a fun job.
It's a fun
job. You don't like. You wouldn't consider it a job. Like if you just hear basketball, playing a sport, you don't consider it a job.
You don't consider it.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, fact.
And you also like what we talked about earlier. Just like everyone watching you, like that's a big part of it too. I mean, I don't know about you, but like I don't know how I would feel like being on a basketball team and then going in a stadium where thousands and thousands and thousands of people are watching while I play a game. That's
especially
scary.
Especially if you have all that and then suddenly there's no fans. That must be so isolating because you have these people that are used to crowd noises and all that. They have to like get fake things that they know. It's like if it's coming from a speaker, it's just so different because from the other side of the field you just hear the ball bouncing and it's like you don't hear the crowd noise anymore.
Other side of the field, you hear the ball bouncing.
Court, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But like for whatever reason, I mean some people like prefer crowds, some people don't. Like some athletes,
you're right.
Like they talk about it. Like some athletes actually prefer like no crowd. Like it helps them more like focus more on what they're doing.
But they can drown it out anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like.
I know you played ball. Were you good at drowning? I was great at drowning it out.
I was great at it.
I wasn't like that good, but I was still good at drowning it out. You know.
Right. Like I did wrestling, right? So like wrestling and track. So in track I was a shot putter, and I did wrestling. In the wrestling, obviously it's a smaller like circle in terms of like fans, like people watching.
Right.
But it's still pressure because like people like were right there, and I mean like the match was right here.
On top of you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But no, like people like were watching. So like, and plus it's wrestling is 1-on-1. So like it was more pressure on me to like perform well and like
that's true.
Perform good for the people. But it's just about how you handle it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? How you handle pressure, how you deal with it, and how you overcome it. You know
the thing is, it's like with these professional athletes, like think about. Especially when with controversy, well, maybe not even like controversy, but just something like Juju, you know, where he talks a lot, he always does the TikTok dances. But like, think about it from his perspective, where he has to go on Instagram and see 10 to 20,000 people clown him because he's dancing on logos and stuff. And it's like
he's got fans on.
It helps when you're losing.
He got
fans.
He
wouldn't get it if he's winning.
Yeah, I mean, if he's winning, it's like that's good, but like. The Steelers fell off.
Obviously. That's why they clowning him. That's the only reason why. Because he's dancing the whole season.
It's a distraction.
I think they blew it up out of proportion.
No. I feel like Juju's.
He wasn't ripping up anyone's field.
No, I just feel like the problem is that you act cocky and then you're still losing. Like one thing's acting cocky. If you win, winning solves everything. But if you're acting cocky and like all that, you go up in the center of the field where their logo is.
Plus, someone called him out
and you disrespect them.
That football player in the Bengals.
Plus,
called him out. If they didn't call him out, wouldn't still.
I mean, if you go there and disrespect them and then you get shut out and destroyed, I mean,
I don't like when they
I
don't like when they dance on the logos, but at the same time, like Juju's having fun, like he's doing his thing. I mean, he's a bubbly. Wait, he's a bubbly personality, and I think people aren't used to that, so either people love it or they hate it. So it's like, yo, this dude's having fun, and he's not an emotionless robot who just runs the football down the field.
That's true.
You know, like he has a personality. Like, he seems like a cool person.
Would you say it's different than AB? That controversy?
No, AB's more. He's just a drama queen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Because with AB, like he's done some drama. He's done some shit.
Like, there's drama between them.
But I also I also believe in like second chances, and I also think the media probably over exaggerated as well, because like. I mean, he's doing well now.
Yeah.
Like
he's not.
No, yeah.
They made him seem like he had something wrong mentally.
Yeah.
I was bothering me.
He kind of because like when you like when I first like saw Forza AB, like it was like more like team stuff and him not getting along with like Ben Roethlisberger from the Steelers, or he's not getting all.
He wasn't getting the ball, right?
He wasn't getting the ball enough. Yeah. And like there was one story too when he was on like the Oakland Raiders. I forgot who.
He was on the Raiders.
He was on the Raiders.
Yeah. He didn't
play game. He got mad. He had like a fit with the head coach because the coach went
helmet
thing. So I'm like, dude, really?
Oh, no, he wanted a special helmet.
He wanted a special helmet. So it's like, you're a grown ass man making millions of dollars. Like, why cry? Why cry over a helmet?
It's like the smallest thing.
It's so small.
That's weird.
It's weird.
I mean, I feel like you could just talk to the coach about that instead of making it a big deal.
Yeah.
But they were also that was Hard Knocks. Raiders were on Hard Knocks.
Oh yeah, they're televised. So everything you see, you don't have privacy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like the drama between, like, at least with AB, though, even if he was dramatic and all that in that sense, I mean, retrospectively, you can say whether it was not justified, but at least he still kept up his production. He's an elite receiver. But I feel like Juju kind of fell off while
that's
doing...
what they were saying.
He was, though.
They're saying he's never been a number one. He just got open because of all the double teams on Antonio and all the focus on Antonio.
Yeah, but this season he hasn't been doing too well.
Well, no, I'm agreeing. That's what I'm saying, though. Because he's a number one receiver now. It shows that he's not he is a number one, but he's not. If that makes sense, he's their number one receiver, but he's not in the case that he hasn't had like a over 100-yard receiving game since I'm pretty sure it was like last year, but for regular season. But he recently got one against the Browns, but that's because Ben threw like 500 plus.
That was garbage time.
He threw like 500. Yeah,
and they were also playing soft defense too, since they were up by so much.
Yeah, but Juju is not a number one receiver. He needs someone else on the team.
I feel like
what do y'all think about Claypool too? He like added on to the to them losing to the Browns. He was like well, I'm at home, but you know the Browns are gonna get clapped next week. Like I saw someone like comment, they were like bro, like these Steelers receivers are so childish,
right? It's like,
but I like it though at the same time because Claypool is like he's backing up his guy Juju. You know, that's what I like about it. But you know, at the end of the day, it's just TikTok dancing and just like. I guess football beef that just gets obviously it's blown out. Like people have these people have these beefs in high school, probably.
Do you think it's a distraction?
It's blown out of proportion in the media.
But do you think it's a distraction?
To who?
Like to the game in general, because like for example,
I think it makes it more exciting.
I think it makes it more exciting. It makes it, and it brings in like I don't know if it's like real beef or just like division. They're division rivals, you know.
It gives personality to it.
Yeah, it gives personality. That's another thing. You don't just see them as football players.
I don't know, but would you want that on your team though? Because I feel like a better receiver would be like Stephon Diggs. He produces and that's it. Like he doesn't.
Personally, like if someone's on my team and they do something like that, I'm not gonna be all crazy and mad and and wild about that. I'm just gonna let them do them, you know. And if
as long as you produce on the field,
exactly.
If that's distracting, if that's distracting, I feel like it is a problem.
I don't think it's distract. It shouldn't distract. I see it like why should that distract the team? You know, if you're focused on football and you're not on social media, it shouldn't distract you. It's your own fault for distracting yourself if you're the one that has TikTok and watching Claypool, they do his thing on live or going on Instagram.
Because it's not like they're doing like TikTok dances and like during the game.
They actually were.
They do them in the locker room. A lot of the guys are like in the locker room.
But like it's not like at the end of the day, I feel like they're mentally strong enough to be like, all right, like this is the game.
Right.
Maybe
like
Claypool,
I know what's going. Like I can do the TikTok dances, whatever, blah 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 blah. But like at the end of the day, this is where my focus is.
Facts,
I don't care what goes on outside of the field, but when it goes on right now, I'm in the game. I'm in the moment.
That's what I'm saying too. It
doesn't matter what's going on outside.
Yeah, it's not like they're dancing in front of their other teammate, like in their way. You know, they're doing this on their own time and just just doing it themselves.
There was one video where Juju, when they were getting blown out, he turned away and went like. And then turn back.
What the fuck?
That's the thing. I feel like because of stuff like that, it can be distracting. Not to mention, if you call out the Browns or whatever, or you call them gray faces or whatever, nameless faces or whatever, at that point, like, if you're on the Browns, you get hungry because you're like, oh, they're calling me out, so you want to shut them down even more. So I feel like you're almost kind of motivating them by doing that. So I feel like that's the problem.
And I feel like
you should respect your opponent.
You still need to come to play though. In the day,
well, definitely, but you should respect your opponent.
I feel like you could also be putting more pressure on your team with that, because it's like if you call out the other team like the Browns.
They're division rivals, bro.
Yeah,
I get that. See it as like division rivals. You can say,
but even then, you got to respect them. You got to know that if they beat,
I don't think you need to respect the team. He even said in an interview they're a good team. He just said they're the Browns because they're of their history.
Yeah,
I don't think you should blow it out of proportion saying it's like complete disrespect. It's just him saying,
what's happened before though. That's the thing.
A lot of people will say stuff like that. They'll say like, oh yeah, they're not this, they're that, or that. Yeah. People will be like, oh, you're disrespecting. You can take it as disrespect, or you can just let them, or you can just let them say what they say and just ball out. You know?
Like, I want to ask you guys this too. Like now we was talking about Antonio Brown earlier. I was going to ask you guys, like, what's your thoughts on, like, because it's like certain athletes where they trash talk and they're like, they're kind of assholes. You know what I'm saying? Like like Michael Jordan, like, he was, even though he was great and he's probably the greatest of all time, he was a known asshole to his teammates.
Oh,
like, he was,
really? His personality, like
Kwame Brown.
Like he would dog his teammates every day, like in practice and stuff, talk trash to them about their families, like to like
what?
That, and I'm dead ass. Like if you watch the documentary Last Dance, like he was brutal. So like, what's your guys like thoughts on like what I'm trying to say is,
if
like,
you bring my family into it like that, that's
family into it.
I mean,
that's a little too much though.
That's not right.
But it's like, Like, what's your guys' thoughts? Like, do you guys prefer, like, whenever you see athletes, do you look at the athletes where they might have a brash personality, like a Conor McGregor, and trash talking,
Jalen Ramsey,
Jalen Ramsey,
I just think it's
and
part
they're
of the
less
sport.
humble.
I think it's
but
just
like,
part
but
of
it's
the
like,
I guess
as
it
long as
depends.
you're producing,
In
that's
personality.
good.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're not producing, that's when people are going to tune away.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Exactly. As soon
You
as
also
you're not
gotta
producing, that's when they come at you.
You also got to
discredit you.
think about like where these people came from, like what we were talking about earlier, like when they're in an environment where it's just like, you know,
it's just
hard.
natural trash talk.
Yeah, it's
No,
just,
I disagree with that because I know there's people been from the hood or just from environments that are not as like suburbs, and they're humble.
Yeah,
They don't even say
humble as
anything.
hell. Yeah.
It's really just
not
personality. It's
everyone.
really just
I think
personality.
it is personality.
Because like I know I've played the sport of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird because I'm not a trash talker, but if someone gets on my nerves, then I will start trash talking.
Facts, same.
You know,
Yep.
you know, it's like you want to trash talk, I can trash talk.
Let's go.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'll never start it. You know.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
never
different.
started.
I feel like it's different than just starting it out there because I feel like if you're just starting it out there, and it obviously it depends, but I feel like it's like you don't really see that from players that are truly great in that sense. And not that obviously Michael Jordan did do it, but it's not like he went in the media all the time as like trash talking people like publicly.
No, he go in the media.
One thing's doing
like,
it like I feel like it's
like he during one practice he punched Steve Kerr like in the face like during practice. Yeah,
I didn't
like,
know any of this stuff.
Yeah, like it was like on the Last Dance documentary, and like it was one time where I think Steve Kerr he was like it's a foul. And Michael was like, "Oh hell no, that's not a foul." And then the next play, when Steve Kerr went to go for a layup, Michael like fouled the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? And then Steve Kerr was like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
And then Michael was like,
Damn.
"Nah, that's a fucking foul."
Wow.
And then Phil Jackson like was like, "Oh, chill
Chill out.
And then Steve Kerr was like, he couldn't take it anymore, so he went after Michael, and that's when they fought. And Michael threw a punch
Would
and
you go
broke his
after-
nose.
see, I don't blame for that because it's like, yo, like I feel like
That's
okay, yeah,
personality
Michael Jordan is a great player.
He's a great player.
But at the end of the day, like you're still a human being. Like you can't be like disrespecting me like I don't care who you are at the end
Kobe
of the
was
day.
kind of the same way.
Yeah, I heard Kobe.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
but I feel like
same
Kobe
way.
was
Like that.
different though. Kobe would try to lift you up.
Yeah,
though.
He would lift you up. Yeah.
Kobe
wouldn't
wouldn't
demean you.
disrespect you like
Michael was
that.
more brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael was definitely more
Kobe
brutal.
would push you to like he'd call you names, but like
But Kobe was a teacher.
it would be
though.
based on your game, you know.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
he
Facts.
wants to see you do better.
Facts.
Yeah,
I think Michael just had like something against the person themselves.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with basketball.
yeah,
Right.
it's like a different mentality because I read something that's like the way Kobe viewed it. He viewed it like to motivate. He wanted
Yep.
people at his level. He doesn't respect you if you don't work hard.
But Michael
While,
did too. It's just he did it more brutal.
No, but I feel like at least with Michael, like, he wasn't really a teacher. He wasn't somebody that would lift people up. While
Right,
LeBron
facts, yeah,
more
yeah.
was.
Yeah, you're right.
Like Michael, I feel like at least from what I read, he's like he saw people as competition, like everybody.
No.
And
Facts, yeah.
something else that I've been thinking about is
Like
that we never
Yeah,
really
good point.
like we can spectate all we want, but we don't really know these people.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like
True.
like the media can say like they can be a documentary crew, but that's like what 5 minutes of practice out
Yeah,
of
so you're
the
gonna be
whole
biased.
season.
It's gonna be some bias.
So like there could be
Yeah.
like one scene where like they get fought and like they're all but
Exactly, bro.
they could be like best bros. You don't know that though.
Exactly.
And I remember there was beef between what was it, Russ and Dame or something, and the media blew it up.
Yeah, they blew up
And then they
proportion.
came out and they're like, nah, like we're
Like, we
bros,
good,
like,
we
we're
Gucci,
good, we're good friends.
Yeah, like,
but
we grew up together,
they
like,
make
yeah.
it seem like like these people hate each other for views and likes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I know Bleacher Report. I mean, I see on them Instagram and everything, and they're like, this person had choice words for this person in the locker room, and it's like,
What's what gets
fuck?
clicks?
and then that's and. I don't think whether they realize or not, that hurts the team and that hurts like their
Facts.
dynamic and it hurts their mental health too. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I just think they're blown out of proportion. But I get it, views, likes, interaction.
I mean, you just want the clicks. I mean,
Yeah.
at least what happened with
Clickbait.
OKC
Clickbait,
when KD left, like
Yeah, they made it
so
such
many
a big
articles,
thing, like,
so
yeah.
many
you know why he
articles.
left though, right?
Well, yeah, he wanted to join the powerhouse.
Yeah, he wanted to do the Warriors.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when he left the Warriors. He
Oh,
left the
no,
Warriors
yeah.
because Draymond Green
Yeah.
called him the B word.
Yeah, bitch. You can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Alright.
Called him that. Yep.
But
I mean, it's
Speak-
kind of soft. On his
we were
part.
speaking of Kobe earlier, and like
Sensitive.
obviously we know what happened. I think with last year, January 26th, right? That was a bad day. When Kobe died, right?
Almost a
so,
year already.
Yeah,
It's
almost a year. So
year.
today's the
10
15th.
days.
11 more days will be, a whole year since he, died. So like, what was your guys like thoughts on that day? Because I can remember like when I was in my room and I was doing my homework. I think I was doing math homework. And I was just
it matters.
yeah. Kobe, right? So obviously, you know, obviously January 15th right now, 11 more days would be the first year anniversary of his death. So like, what was your thoughts when you first heard the news of Kobe? Like, what was your initial feeling?
I always looked up to him. I'm not a huge basketball fan, but I just remember I was shocked. Someone said, I was in my roomie group chat, and they were like, "Rip Kobe." I'm like, because the day before, Kobe passed LeBron in points. So I thought that was talking about.
And then Kobe tweeted it out, actually.
Yeah, and then one of my friends was, he was like, "Yo, Kobe Bryant just died." I was like, "What? Like, stop playing." I was like, "No,
shit not real."
Yeah, just look it up. And I remember I just went on my phone. I'm like, "Oh my god, like this is crazy." It went all over social media.
And his daughter died. So
yeah, and then they found
13.
out that his daughter died.
Insane.
And I just remember like going to one of my friends, and we went to this cubicle to like work on stuff in the media room. And it was just crazy. I mean, I didn't even know what to feel. Like, it was just such a weird day. I mean, it was like super overcast too. It was such a weird day. Like, that's just when life. Yeah, bro. I remember it was like super overcast. I remember I was walking outside, and I don't know, it just felt so depressed. Like, you just felt the atmosphere and the mood and everything.
But it's like, I mean, obviously you never know like when is your time like to go.
Right.
But it's like especially in a helicopter plane, like why go up there in that weather? Like, it was so foggy that day. But you really can't say because you don't know. But it's like,
it was unexpected.
Kobe's just like a man who's just like, you know, like, I'm gonna go. Like, you know, like he was like, you see him on the court, he's a dog. You know? He's not really scared of anything. He doesn't fear anything.
Goes out fighting.
You know, I just feel like he's
I think they were going to his camp.
Basketball camp. Yeah. So he's just like, you know what? Like, he's been on a helicopter before too, so he's probably just like, all right, this should be fine.
Imagine like being at that camp, waiting for Kobe to come there.
Oh my god,
damn,
dude,
right?
Yeah,
if it's your first time.
That's heartbreaking, dude.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I just feel like it's worse just because he was like recently he's retired and like he was branching on to new things. I think he had an Oscar-nominated movie as well.
Yeah, he got that Oscar.
Yeah.
He was multi-talented.
Posthumously, yeah. But I just, when you have all of that and you're branching out and just inspiring people, not only in basketball but in film and doing all that, and I just feel like it's just taken too early.
Exactly. Well, facts, man. But all right, I hope you guys enjoy my episode of Jordan's podcast. It's only going to come more, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned to it, watch it, and I hope share it, and I hope you guys can watch this episode and feel inspired, and that's what I want to do. So thank you guys, appreciate it. God bless you guys.
Hey yo, before we log off, I should.
Yeah, let's get it. Brody dropping.
All right, I'm dropping. I just dropped a song called Shawty. It's on all platforms. Go stream it. My Instagram is LilMike_20. You can look me up, Lil Mike, on all platforms.
No Kizzy.
Shawty, yada, yada, yada.
No Kizzy. Let's get it.